Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have discussed in the previous class like what is flex, yeah, why we need flex, and three reasons that we actually listed for flex boxes. Yeah, so one is in terms of layout. Yeah, we need layouting technique. Yeah, so for layout it is going to help. The second reason was, is it? Yeah, even responsiveness, because it's the name itself says it is flexible. Yeah, so we can achieve responsiveness using Flexbox. What else? We also said it is possible to even position the elements. These are the few reasons that we listed why Flexbox, or what is the purpose of having a Flexbox. Okay, so apart from that, we have understood the Flexbox layout model, right? Or the Flexbox model itself. We know box model, but now we are trying to understand the flexible box model. So flexible box model we kind of understood in addition to the normal box model. Yeah, whichever element, I make it like flex. Yeah, I make using display flex. That will, yeah, that element will become like, yeah, I mean that, so any element to which if I apply display flex, then the element becomes flex container or the flex box. So that box has two axes. One is main axis, another one is cross axis. What is main axis? By default, main axis will be in horizontal direction, whereas cross axis in vertical direction by default. Yeah, it's not always by default. It is possible to change that, correct? It is possible to change that positioning. I mean the uh, direction also, correct? It is possible to change the direction. I mean we can make horizontal as vertical, vertical as horizontal. We can interchange the axis, right? Yeah, so let's define some height. Yeah, so that we can see. Yeah, so we used yesterday 100 VH. That's just to make it kind of responsive, but it need not have to be like you can keep anything. Yeah, you can say even 400 pixel also. Just setting some height, right? So we understood the flex box. Yeah, the box model of the flexible container or the flex box is it has two axes. We don't see them actually, but we have to imagine that okay, there are two axes all the time. Another important thing that we understood, yeah, or that we have to remember with Flexbox is using Flexbox technique, we are going to actually align the items which are within that box, not the box itself. You know what I'm saying? Using Flexbox, we are going to align the items or the children's. It can be any different children. Generally, for the sake of example, we take dot item. I mean all the children's with same thing. No, it need not be. I can even have a paragraph also. Yeah, I can also have a paragraph. So it is just that using Flexbox, we can align these child items at the children's, not the container. Container will be wherever it is. It is fixed. It doesn't move. Until unless you specify extra property, the container doesn't move at all. These elements will move. These elements get aligned. How? Based on the property, either they get aligned on, yeah, main axis, or they get aligned on cross axis. And sometimes we use both. Correct? One important thing to remember is we are aligning the children's, not the container itself, the box itself. Okay, so this is the brief on like what is Flexbox model, and what is the purpose of it. Now let's understand, okay, some of the properties that we learned. Mainly Flexbox properties, actually we can group it into two categories. One is container or parent properties, right? One set is container or parent properties. What is the second set? Second set would be child or flex item properties. Some people call it child, some people call flex item, container, parent, yeah, flex container, fine. So there are two groups of properties. I think to start with, we have learned, yeah, properties that can be or that can only work with a container. Example, yeah. So display flex is one such property. So we apply display flex only to the parent element. I mean, child elements can also be applied flex. That's called nested flex. That's fine. But we apply display flex to the parent itself. What are the other properties? Yeah. So before I tell all those properties, let me just apply some style for the elements. Yeah. Other children's. Yes. Dot container. Say star. Yeah. Or we can say, a div dot container paragraph. Yeah. We want to apply for both the element. So let's say border 1 pixel solid. Yeah. I will say blue. Okay. Then I'll take up, yeah, I'll take up an height. Okay. I'll take up an height of 100 pixel. Okay. I'll also take a width of 100 pixel for now. That is it. Width of 100 pixel. Yeah. So we understood with the display flex. Yeah. With just applying display flex, the items all the child items will align in or align along main axis. Main axis is in horizontal direction by default. All the child items, irrespective whether block elements or inline element, they
default
all
in
they all will come in a single line, which is along the main axis only.